was a man named Frank who had an unusual talent for making people laugh, often without even trying. He lived in a small town where everyone knew each other's business, and Frank's antics were always the talk of the town. One day, Frank decided to enter a talent show, convinced that his ability to make people laugh would win him first place. As he prepared for the show, Frank accidentally glued his shoes to the floor, causing him to perform his entire routine stuck in one spot. Despite his immobility, the audience found his performance hilarious, thinking it was all part of the act. Frank, trying to play along, exaggerated his gestures, making everyone laugh even harder. After the show, Frank realized he had forgotten his jokes and had simply been talking about his day, which somehow became the highlight of the evening. The judges were in tears from laughter and awarded Frank the first prize, even though they couldn't remember any of his jokes either. Frank's newfound fame brought him opportunities to perform at larger venues, but his luck followed him wherever he went. During a performance at a comedy club, Frank's pants split down the middle as he delivered the punchline to his first joke. The audience erupted in laughter, assuming it was part of the routine, and Frank had to improvise for the rest of the night. Word of Frank's unique style spread, and soon he was invited to perform at a prestigious comedy festival. At the festival, Frank's microphone malfunctioned, causing his voice to sound like a chipmunk for the first half of his set. Instead of panicking, Frank embraced the situation and performed the rest of his act in the same high-pitched voice, making the crowd roar with laughter. After the show, a famous comedian approached Frank, offering to take him under his wing and help him refine his act. Frank, thrilled at the opportunity, accepted the offer, but his accidental mishaps continued to be the highlight of every show. As Frank's career blossomed, he became known as the accidental comedian, a man whose unintentional mistakes were funnier than any scripted joke. He began touring the country, performing in packed theaters where audiences eagerly awaited his next blunder. One night, during a sold-out show, Frank tripped over his microphone cord and tumbled off the stage, landing in the front row. The audience, believing it was part of the act, gave him a standing ovation as he lay on the floor, dazed but unharmed. Despite his success, Frank never lost his humble nature and continued to be the same clumsy, good-natured man he had always been. He even started incorporating his mishaps into his act, deliberately setting himself up for failure just to see how the audience would react. As the years passed, Frank became a legend in the comedy world, known for his ability to turn any situation into a laugh. When he finally retired, Frank looked back on his career with a smile, knowing that his greatest talent had always been making people laugh, even when he didn't mean to.